pushing the button, bro.
All right. Sounds good. Hell yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're up.
All right.
All right,
We're
welcome
live.
everybody. The BIA Gamecast with Crazy Mate. It's me and my best bro, Infinite AA. We're here to talk about games. Uh,
Yes, we are.
First, I just
All
want
right.
to
Sounds
kind
good.
of
Hell
like
yeah.
apologize for last week's
All right. We're live.
missing the video or missing the podcast. Stuff went on and it's but we're back and we're here to talk about games. Let's get into it. The first thing we got is Phil Spencer, right, bro?
Yeah, that's the first topic, but I want to just say this is Infinite talking right now, and it's my brother Crazy Mate Gaming, and this is our podcast. The BIA Gamecast stands for Brothers in Arms, Brothers in Arms Gamecast, and we hope you guys enjoy the show. And we're gonna be talking about Phil Spencer's interview. We're gonna be talking about medium impressions, gameplay, and Xbox versus PS5, how they did in 2020, and as well as what like it's a year in review, but we also want to talk about longevity of both consoles. Not we'll get into 2021 next week or the week after that, like when we start hitting a little more news, and we'll talk about any news that breaks. We'll talk about in our podcasts and whatever week it pops up in, and let's get started. So,
Yeah, that's what we're about. All right.
yep.
So this is a little bit uh, older, but a week ago around there. Or, no, when
It
was
was at the end of the year. It was
the
two
end
weeks
of the year?
ago.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago at the end of 2020. Phil Spencer had an interview with Larry Herb. He's part of the Xbox team and he does a lot of marketing and stuff. But yeah, so we get
Well,
into that and get in the weeds with that.
well,
So
what's your thoughts on that? Like, what did you get from that? What did you get from? What are some key points in the video or in the interview that came out for you?
they talked about how they did this holiday, and I don't think they were mainly talking about as much about like the new consoles coming out and stuff. I think it was more along the lines of how the holiday went for them when it came to their online services, how many people popped up, new people, or how many active users they had during the holidays, and they said they did really good, like lots of users and active users for the holiday, as well as the fact that they had a really good holiday in their ZOC team, which stands for um, Xbox Operations Center. Their ZOC team actually is bigger than they ever were before, and they actually revamped that when COVID hit because they need they need to have that team constantly working to make sure Xbox Live is doing good and that users are satisfied. So they
Yeah.
talked about
Also,
that.
another thing he did say mentioning that was that the most amount of players who are on an Xbox Series S are new Xbox users, and
Yes, he did say
that's
that.
that's actually really huge. That's big to have. I mean, especially there's other stuff that's going on, but to have people you see a transfer or not necessarily a transfer, just of people coming over from the other side are like, oh, I'll give Xbox a try, and of course they go to the lowest costing one. It's only $300. I'll get into it, and then there's Game Pass, and they're gaining a lot more people in the ecosystem and exactly what they want, and that was the purpose of the S, really, in the first place.
Well, I actually really like the point that you brought up just barely because a lot of people that have had a PlayStation or been mainly PlayStation, but they want to try Xbox games and they buy the Series S, they also get Game Pass. So they don't even necessarily buy a game on the platform necessarily to start out with, but most of them are getting Game Pass, right? So they're playing Game Pass, and then like Game Pass is actually an amazing deal. Like I never thought anything could be like this, and all this hype on Game Pass I never really understood till now, right?
Yeah,
So that's a pretty important thing in my opinion. And there was lots of other topics about the interviews and Xbox holidays. They just kind of were doing small talk at first, talking about the holidays, how their holiday went and stuff, and the climate has changed a lot in the past year. And when you talk about a holiday where most people are home, new consoles are coming out, and you got lots of people jumping on, and to say that they had the best year ever when it came to how Xbox Live was doing, like not
That's
not just like how many people jumped on, but how it was doing, how stable it was, and they said it was
yeah,
very,
with a
very
lot of
stable
people, very
over the
stable.
holidays.
Well, that you gotta give credit to the people, and that's what he did was the people behind the scenes that make